Hi, welcome to another episode of Weekend Photography Lessons with me, Akshay Mehra. And today we are going to discuss about exposure and perfect metering. So, what is exposure? Exposure means the amount of light falling upon your sensor and collected on the sensor, that is your exposure. The amount of time you leave your shutters open and the amount of light which is collected on your sensor gives you the exposure. Now, there are three kinds of exposure. One is underexposed, of course, not too much of light in your photograph and very dark photograph. Then comes overexposed picture, which is too much of brightness and too much of light on your photograph. And the third one, which is mid or average brightness, which is called correctly exposed picture. So these are three kinds of pictures which you get from exposure, and today we are going to study more detail in it. And now I'll tell you exposure triangle. What is exposure triangle? Exposure triangle consists of three things. It becomes your ISO, your shutter speed and your aperture. Combination of these three gives you exposure triangle. Sometimes when you photograph something, you see like foreground, it is perfectly balanced. When you try to perfectly expose your picture, the foreground comes perfectly fine, but background is sometimes very bright. And when you try to meter properly and expose the photograph as per the background, the foreground comes very dark. This is a basic problem. This is a problem of your camera, as there is a contrast limitation which your eyes don't have. Your eyes, your pupil don't have contrast limitation because your eyes see everything perfectly as per the lighting, shadows and details. They mentally make a picture and give you a perfectly exposed picture in your brain which you visualize, but your camera doesn't. To fix that thing, you can take metered photograph as per the foreground and then another metered photograph as per the background. You can merge the two images and make an HDR image, that is high dynamic range photograph. Of course, we will study high dynamic range HDR image in our upcoming lessons, but to give you a summarize, a little idea about it, I'll tell you HDR gives you details in contrast, shadows and highlights perfectly balanced, so that it comes out perfectly balanced photograph which you wanted. So guys, let me tell you, your camera has a limitation, contrast limitation. Don't worry about it, and you can still go ahead and do the photography and start clicking the photos irrespective, but you need to balance out and perfectly measure. Now, when I tell you to use P mode, as we discussed in our previous lectures, I had told you to get off the auto mode and go towards the P mode. There's a simple reason why I told you to use P mode. Because P mode uses a combination of aperture and shutter speeds. It chooses as per the scene and gives you right amount of exposure. Now, aperture and shutter speed go in hand. The bigger the aperture you left it open, the faster shutter speed you will get. The smaller or the tighter hole or a very narrow hole you leave for aperture, it will take lot of time to collect the light for the sensor. That results in longer shutter speed. That is about 30 seconds or 2 minutes or even 15 minutes. That depends on what kind of aperture and the scene you are photographing it in. Of course, the aperture like f22 or f32, the narrow aperture you are choosing, you will get a very sharp photograph, very sharp picture, but it will take longer shutter speed like 5 minutes or 10 minutes depending on the scene you are photographing to collect the light and give you the right amount of exposure. So guys, let me tell you, aperture and shutter speed go hand in hand. If you want a very fast shutter speed, like you want to capture a bird a flying bird and you need 1,000th of the speed or 2,000th of the speed, then the camera will tell you to leave your aperture very widely open, like 1.4, 1.8 or 2.8, depending on what kind of lens you are using. So in short, aperture and shutter speed go hand in hand as per the calculation, and in P mode exactly you get this. Only ISO is under your control, which later on, if you want, once you are starting out, you can use auto ISO, but I don't recommend it. Start playing with ISO 100, 200, 500, 600, depending on the scene you want to photograph. But let camera decide the right shutter speed or aperture for you in the beginning. And there's a wheel on the camera. Once you start rotating it, it will start choosing the aperture from 1.4 going up to 6.5 or 8 or 9 or 11. When you start changing or rotating the wheel, when you see the aperture is getting smaller, the shutter speed will also change as per the aperture. That is what the calculation is all about, and that is what gives you perfect timed exposure. Now, in my previous lectures, I told you to use metering modes like evaluative metering, center weighted metering, spot metering. Let me tell you, most of the times you will end up using evaluative metering. It works out very well in all of the conditions, be it wildlife, be it sports, be it cultural events, or be it studio setup, anything. I'm not saying that you can't use other modes, but once you're starting out, of course, you can use evaluative metering. It works most of the time very well, because in evaluative metering, the camera meters the light overall in the picture and gives you mid brightness or the average brightness in your photograph, which should be good enough to give you a good picture and a good result. Now, if we talk about other metering modes, center weighted metering, it takes out a small particular area, and around it surrounds the photograph and it tries to average out the light or the correct brightness and gives you that. Center weighted is that. And spot metering, it chooses only a small spot in your photograph and meters that and then gives you the exposure. So spot metering might not work out for you very well in most of the conditions, like if you're shooting it outside, you're trying to photograph a human being in the snow or in the jungle, and if you use spot metering, the person might come out perfectly balanced, but the rest of the area might not come out well. So better to use evaluative metering once you're starting out. And of course, spot metering and center weighted metering you can use when you are using your studio setup and you are shooting inside your studio with artificial lights. You can use those modes as well. So for the time being, evaluative metering is very good for you. Start using that and start using P mode so that it gives you well timed exposure. Now, once you are photographing something in your camera, there's something called exposure compensation. Now that's the light meter. We can call it as a light meter or your metering meter for light and exposure. That is called exposure compensation. You can use the wheel to, again, once you are trying to expose a picture towards the left, if you go -1 or -2, that gives you a darker image. And if you cross 0, that is the 0 comes perfectly balanced photograph. But if you cross 0 and you go towards +1 or +2, that gives you a very bright image. So exposure compensation every camera has. Use it wisely. Try to meter your photograph as much as you want. First, practice on 0, that is in between middle level. If you find the picture is coming out too bright or too dark for you, of course you can meter it down to -1 or +1 depending on what you choose, and then you can see the result. Let me tell you, sometimes in your LCD screen of your camera, if you turn on the brightness very high, like up to +8 or +10, the picture will come out very bright. Even if you have correctly exposed the picture, it will show you as overexposed. Or if you have turned down the brightness on your camera screen, and if you have correctly exposed the picture, it might show you as underexposed. So not to worry, it's just a simple LCD screen. You can always control the brightness of it by going into the settings menu of the camera, and you can choose the desired screen brightness and then use your camera. And later on you can review your images on your laptop, and if there is any small error, you can always fix it later on in Photoshop or Lightroom for the exposure. Adjusting little bit of exposure in your Lightroom won't harm your photograph. In fact, it might enhance your photograph to a great level. So many a times when you are shooting, and if there's a very bright sky and you are not even able to look at your camera, you can always, there's something called in your box it comes out, it is called histogram. Now reading histogram is very easy. If you look at my right side, a histogram, if the bar goes towards the right side, it means your picture is getting very bright or brighter. And if it goes towards the left side, it means your picture is coming darker or going towards dark side. In between, if the arc or the curve is bending up like this in between, overall spreading out, then it means it's perfectly balanced photograph. This is how you read histogram, and it comes in very handy in conditions like this, very bright conditions, and it always comes out very handy. Irrespective you check the LCD screen for your photograph or not, you can always rely on histograms, and histograms will always come out very useful for you. Now a useful piece of advice for you, or you can rather relate it as information. There are certain limits in your camera again, which is called aperture limits and shutter speed limits. The last shutter speed on your camera, you can go, the fastest shutter speed available right now is 8000, 1/8000th, and the lowest shutter speed on your camera is like 30 seconds, not less than that. But of course, if you need even less shutter speed, like more than 30 seconds, like up to 15 minutes, 20 minutes or 30 minutes, you need to have another trigger or a remote called external shutter remote, which comes out in your market. You can purchase it and you have to use that. You can press the button, lock it up and leave it. The shutter will remain open as long as you want, and same goes for higher shutter speed. You cannot go more than 8000th, of course, but whatever limit you have, choose it wisely and you choose your photograph. Now even in aperture there's a limit. It depends on what kind of lens you are using. Like for kit lenses start from 3.5 aperture going up to like last, that is 28 or 32, depends. You can't use more narrow aperture than 28 or 32, or you can't use above 3.5. But prime lenses, there are, of course, we will discuss this in later lessons, what kind of lenses there are in detail. But in prime lenses, of course, you can go up to apertures like 1.4, 1.2, depends. So choose your aperture wisely, choose your shutter speed wisely. For starting, again I am repeating, use P mode. Once you get hold of P mode, then of course we'll move ahead with professional modes like AV and TV mode, that is aperture priority and shutter priority modes, and also we'll go for manual mode. Now I'll suggest you is go out, take your camera, start using P mode, use evaluative metering and start shooting whatever you feel like. Whatever advices I gave you so far, start using them. try experimenting on different apertures and different shutter speeds, and try and see your photograph. Use your rotating wheel to control your exposure, like +1 or -1. Go outside, take a photograph, compare the picture, compare the histograms, and then decide what result and which photograph is good for you. And now guys, before I end my today's lecture, I'll tell you, now I am available on WhatsApp. You can note down my WhatsApp number showing on your screen. You can WhatsApp me your questions, whatever questions you have related to photography. I'll surely answer them one by one on WhatsApp also, as well as if there are questions which you want me to explain in my next video, definitely after the lecture in my video I'll answer all of your questions. So guys, feel free to reach out to me and I'll be there to answer all of your questions. And I end today's lecture. See you next week. Till then, have a good time and wishing everybody happy Dussehra from Studio F90 and Akshay Mehra. Thank you guys.